All right, welcome to Say What I Mean. Decided to stay with you on a late night. I was gonna go to bed, but I had to recap this debate real quick. Now, the difference between this VP debate and last week presidential debate is that you could actually hear the answers, but we still didn't really get any answers because neither Pence or Kamala Harris really answered any of the questions that the moderator asked. And the moderator really didn't do a good job in pressing them to answer the questions. So we're going to get into all that. But before we do that, make sure you subscribe if you like the content, share the video, definitely trying to grow the channel. But yes, so at least we was able to hear the answers, even though the answers we heard was really non-answers. But that's okay. Let's see who won this debate. Overall, I feel like this debate really was a tie, and that's not a cop out. And let me explain why it was a tie. I think Pence did a fairly good job in controlling the debate. That's how I want to put it. I think he did a masterful job of avoiding answering some specific questions and being on offense and pressing Kamala Harris on certain issues. But he just wasn't working with a good hand. I mean, facts is facts. He is the head of the Corona Task Force. He really didn't have good answers when it came to the Trump administration handling of the Corona outbreak. His answers on healthcare was terrible. Really couldn't provide any decent answers on that. So just the Trump administration record in general, it was going to be hard to do anything with that. But at the same time, like I said, he was able to control the debate. Now, Kamala Harris, she had some good moments. When she first came out, though, she did seem a little nervous, which I won't hold against her because I feel like most humans would be nervous first coming out. But her first question, she definitely seemed a little on edge, a little nervous, in my opinion. But I thought her attack on how calm were you when she addressed President Trump, downplaying how severe the coronavirus was when he was on tape, saying that Bob Woodward recorded him saying that he was downplaying it to the public, although he knew how contagious and how potentially deadly COVID would be. And his excuse is he didn't want a panic and he wanted to keep calm. Now, Kamala Harris kept asking, how calm were you when basically the economy shut down? Or how calm were you when you had to keep your children home from school? So she kept that line of attack. I thought that was effective. And like I said, Trump didn't do a good job defending his COVID record. And how could you? The Trump administration handling was terrible. It is really nothing he could do to really defend their record on it when you have 210,000 Americans who died, when you have this economic catastrophe due to COVID. What can you really say? I think Kamala missed a lot of opportunities. One of them was when Pence brought up the swine flu. She could have mentioned how the Obama administration, which, of course, Joe Biden was a part of, handled the swine flu and compared the death rates with the swine flu compared to COVID. I think she missed the opportunity on that. And especially when Pence said that you playing politics with the vaccine, she should have exploited that. She should have documented all the times President Trump was playing politics with a vaccine, giving out false information. She missed the opportunity with that. But she did do a good job in attacking Trump with taxes, the line of attack of, he's $400 million in debt. Who does he owe that money to? I thought that was a good line of attack. She did a good job in attacking him on healthcare at first. But here's where she falls apart for me. Okay, first, this is not the biggest deal in the world, but the fracking thing, right? She kept repeating that Joe Biden will not ban fracking. I don't know if their campaign have some polling that in the swing states that being against fracking could hurt Joe Biden, but all the polls I've seen basically shows that it's about a split between who's in favor of fracking and who's against it. Like Pennsylvania is a swing state. I was looking up polls in Pennsylvania on fracking, and it's a slight edge within the margin of error. The people in Pennsylvania is for banning fracking, not for it. So continuously stating that you're not going to ban fracking, making it seem like you're for fracking, I don't know how good of a strategy that really is, considering the fact that fracking is controversial and it's almost a 50-50 split. What you can do by insisting that you're not against fracking is kind of piss off some of the younger voters that you will need, some of the younger progressive voters that already not too enthused with you. So I don't know how good of a strategy that is. Again, I'm not privy to inside campaign data. Maybe they've seen something that maybe going too hard against fracking, they feel like would hurt Joe at the polls. I'm not sure, but I'm not sure how good of a strategy that actually is. Now, also, I am going to give her credit before I go with something I didn't like again. I thought Kamala Harris bringing up Mike Pence voting against the auto bailout was a good attack, especially in a place like Michigan, where, of course, the big three is located. So saying that President Obama and Vice President Biden saved the auto industry, which is a fact, they did, and Mike Pence voted against the auto bailout, that's also a fact. Great line of attack. But she let Mike Pence off the hook too many times. Mike Pence lied just as much as Trump do. He just does it in a more elegant way. That's why I always felt that Pence was actually a bigger danger than Donald Trump, because he have basically the same ideology. But the media like him better. So the stuff that they would give Trump a hard time on, a lot of times they would give Pence a pass on. That's why I feel like he is much more dangerous than Trump, because I feel like the media would be complacent in a lot of things that he would do, just because he's not as ignorant as Trump, and he comes across nicer. So that's something to watch for. But one of the things I noticed, and this was a big negative on Kamala, when the moderator asked Pence a question about overturning Obamacare and Affordable Care Act, specifically asked Pence about pre-existing conditions, Pence didn't answer the question. He pivoted to the Supreme Court and packing the courts. Now, Kamala just let Pence do it. And again, she let Pence frame the narrative on almost every question. Now, she should have made Pence answer that question. If Pence didn't answer every question after that, After I finished answering the moderated question, I would have been like, oh yeah, by the way, Vice President Pence still didn't answer the question on pre-existing conditions. So I would have brought it up every time just to drive home the point that he had no plan on it. And they don't. Pence didn't want to answer it because the Trump administration literally had no plan. Trump says, oh, I'm going to say pre-existing conditions. You are? Well, pre-existing conditions is already in the Affordable Care Act. Having children be on your health care insurance until the age of 26 already in the Affordable Care Act. So what's going to happen to these provisions? He doesn't want to answer it. They want to just overturn the Affordable Care Act to overturn it, really. Because it's not really a progressive plan. It has protections in it, but most people know that at the time, progressives wanted a public option. Now progressives want Medicare for all. So it's not even really a progressive plan. It was a plan that conservatives signed off on in the 90s, but because President Obama presented it, they had a problem with it. It's nothing but Romney Care. It's the same healthcare plan that Mitt Romney did in Massachusetts. And like, again, the only reason they really was against it is because President Obama was for it. Simple pay. But they have no alternate healthcare plan. They don't. That's why Pence didn't want to answer it, and Kamala didn't make him answer it. Major mistake. Kamala didn't answer a lot of the questions herself. She had a lot of fluff in her answers. A lot of times like this, I was the first person to do this, or I did this or that. Like, nobody really cares. Answer the question. Neither one of them did that. So overall, I don't think this debate going to move the needle one way or the other. I think this debate was really close, a tie. Maybe just because stylistically he was better. Maybe I slightly edged Pence the debate. Although, I don't like anything he was talking about at all. I disagreed with almost all his answers, but I might edge him the debate. Also, one more thing I got to bring up too. Pence attacked Kamala's criminal justice record. I think it was effective the way he did it. And again, Kamala don't have a good answer for that. She got mauled by Tulsi Gabbard, for all people, during the primaries because of her criminal justice record. Something I talked about on this channel over and over again is right to be attacked. Her record on police reform, on criminal justice reform, it's just not good. It's just not. Already went over it 1,000 times. Some past videos, so I'm not going to be hashing now, but yeah, her record is not good. And Pence was able to exploit that while bringing up that the Trump administration did sign the First Step Act, which again was an okay first step, but pretty watered down criminal justice reform. And, also we see that the Justice Department is going against the First Step Act right now anyway, with prosecuting low-level drug offenses and even re-prosecuting some of the people that was let out under the First Step Act. But, he was able to bring up that that the Trump administration did sign. So believe it or not, in that department, point for Pence. So, but like I said, overall, it's not going to move the needle because it wasn't a blowout either way. And most people's not really voting on vice president. They go and vote on whether or not they like Trump or whether or not that they like Biden. Although you would think that the VP debate would be a little bit more important this time, given the fact that both Trump and Biden are in their 70s. I really think at the end of the day, it's going to come down to the two candidates. Vice presidents hardly ever make a difference, with the slight exception of Sarah Palin. I think she definitely hurt John McCain back in 2008. But other than that, I don't think VPs really make a difference one way or the other, especially not boosting a campaign. I think a VP can hurt you. I don't think, although I didn't like her performance, I don't think Kamala Harris did anything to hurt the Biden campaign. And right now, you can argue that she won because you would think the Trump administration would need a game changer, and Pence's performance wasn't that. If you believe the polling, Biden still is up by about 15 to 16 points right now. And there's only a few weeks left until the election. So, and if you want to look at it like that, maybe Kamala won. I don't know. But anyway, to say what I mean, I just want to do a brief recap with y'all real quick. That's my thoughts on the debate. What do y'all think? Peace.